on the assumption that that worked. Are we live? We're probably live. There you go. Yes, excellent.
You know we're live when Arbit says that.
It's true. Brilliant. Thanks everybody for your patience. We are we here? Have a look.
We are.
We're somewhere.
I was here once.
Cool. I'm being told there is a network error.
Oh, just refresh your page because it's still going on the side.
I'm not seeing it. It just says there's a network error.
I've got the stream up.
That's weird. Oh yeah, cool. I'm on now. Hold on a sec. It's replaying a 40-second video instead of picking up the live stream. That's weird. Oh well, I'll keep on going. Yeah, welcome back to the ongoing adventures of the Dysfunctionals. Oh man, I'm dropping lots of frames.
It's okay.
Pick them up, man.
We don't have to be super FPS.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Looking back on the stream, it's fine for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He says
that it loaded for a second. That might be my internet being like, no, it can wait a minute.
Your stream is experiencing issues. Apparently.
Issues?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, spaghettios.
Apparently so. Let's double back a bit.
I could go and see.
Yeah, could you guys give me a hand?
I'd love to.
Tis buffering. Tis playing.
Live now.
It's
Watch.
playing and then buffering, then playing for a bit, then buffering for a bit, then playing for a bit, then buffering for a bit.
Double back a bit.
That's not ideal.
And as I was describing that, it didn't buffer.
Okay. I see. Yeah, we've been on for a couple of minutes. At least I know it's streaming. But yeah, it's dropping a load of frames.
I don't know if my Google Chrome's turned itself right down, or if the game is just super quiet.
The game is quite
my
quiet.
Chrome's turned itself down. My Chrome was also at a volume of 1, so
there you
volumes are good.
Yeah, cool. All right. Cool. If you are joining us on Twitch, thank you, and sorry for the issues. I'm just going to play through it, and hopefully things will calm down a little bit. Yeah, we'll see if any more. We'll just crack on. The first thing to say is TheSwiss isn't with us currently. We suspect it's because he's asleep. So we might just have Brüz as a quiet sort of background character for today's session.
He fell asleep.
We'll say that he fell asleep. Why not?
He's an old man.
He just crawled up on the ground and fell asleep. It's okay. It's his nap time.
Found a comfortable chair. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we'll carry on playing. And yeah, if he ends up arriving, he ends up arriving. Let's
He wakes up suddenly.
continue. In fact, what I'll do is I'll bring up Discord on my phone so it doesn't mess up with the stream. Yeah, and also, someone emailed me. They were a contest winner from must be like between weeks and months ago now, and they were like, "Hey, is this real? Are you really giving away dice set?" I was like, "Yeah." So hopefully they might kind of tune in the next couple hours. So yeah, keep your eye on the chat for that. Let's continue. All right, last time in the ongoing adventures of this adventuring party, you guys had made your way out of Farinloth to the woods in the northern sort of like edge of town, across a few fields, and you had come across the cult of Trindagan, who you were hunting, and slaughtered them all, including the beasts that was occupying the territory that they had hid out in. Their leader, a man of name Damar Brittleshin, managed to teleport away. On your journey back to Farinloth, you managed, you found your way But you did come across a couple of tree shepherd guardians of this forest who mistook you for people who were destroying the surrounding landscape. You almost destroyed them, but let them go. Parts of them, branches and sap kind of stemming from the wounds that they had sustained, kind of singeing from the fiery kind of blaze that you had caused on their bodies. You are now approaching Farinloth across those few fields that separate those nearby woods from the main town. There's a big patch of ground that's just made up of between 1 and 2 feet of thick sort of vines that in a wide sort of circle. That obviously Nuru recognizes.
Oh, hey, it's my spot.
And you know that underneath this spot is buried the crushed remains of one of the cultists.
She's choosing not to bring that up.
You guys continue on into town. We'll say it's probably mid-late afternoon at this stage. As you guys return to town, what would you guys like to do?
So the town's not on fire or anything, as far as we can tell.
Nothing immediately, appears to be unusual. There are people walking around.
Town is an illusion.
You go over.
Replaced by a meteor hole.
You go over to the nearest building and you reach out your hand and you're shocked as you lie in, and it's a solid wall.
I'm just making sure there's no immediate danger or concern right now.
Make a perception check. Kira, you can do that as well if you want.
Oh, okay. For danger?
Yeah,
All right.
just a general sort of lookout.
Why not?
12.
12?
It's
Okay.
perception, right?
Mhm.
14.
14. Neither of you notice anything particular. It's kind of mid-late afternoon, so there's a handful of farming workers making their way back home from the fields towards the end of this day. There's a guard or two just of the local town watch, sort of on patrol. Kyro, you notice that one of them's looking oddly at Yell, who seems to be having an epiphany by laying his hand on one of the nearby walls. Other than that, not a problem. You make your way further into the center of town. At this point, you have in the rough center. There's obviously the daily market that's set up. You know where the tavern is. You know the direction of the temple, of the guardhouse, and then obviously at the top of the hill, your entry point to town, the homestead that you know that Zendron and Joril kind of arrived in rather abruptly. But you also know that if you guys remember, Eirys has a friend, Kylan, and Maureen Plainstrode and her son, Theo Jr., who are currently staying at that house at the top of the hill. You can actually see it from here. It's a pretty big house. It's 2 stories and a basement and a big old garden surrounding it. Anyway, you have the rest of the afternoon and the night. Where would you like to go?
Well, Kiro's going to probably be sticking with his friends and just sort of keeping an eye out for his brother / Zendron.
Don't immediately see any evidence of them, but what's your passive perception, Kyro?
His passive is 14.
14. Okay. I'd say Eirys, you'll probably pick up a couple of guys that are kind of wandering around, just like, I'll tell you, there's the strangest things. Orcs walking around. There's a dragonborn practically falling over. You said and the one that's next to him goes, yeah, they went up the hill towards the house, didn't they? I hope that they're not going to smash up anything. That's a nice house. Yeah, it's a miracle it belongs to the guard at all. They carry on walking.
I say nothing.
Oh.
Picnic.
Who is leading the group at the moment? Just because, Kyro's sort of following someone.
Yo would like to go to Ella's family's library.
Fantastic, we're following him.
Okay.
Nuru is absentmindedly following wherever the group goes. Currently, she's gotten out the Tabaxi census records that she bought, like back in Trine,
Yeah.
or wherever we were,
Mhm.
and I mean, it's not a very exciting read, but you know, every so often she goes back to it to see if she can get through more of it and see if she notices anything. There's like 20 Nurus in there, and she's pretty sure this isn't her because this one like is clearly 80 years older than her.
Yeah. I'll let you make an investigation check as you're walking just roughly after the people, and you find yourself kind of drifting to the back of the group because walking and reading is obviously quite slow going, and Brüz ends up kind of like pacing alongside you.
Oh, what's that you got there?
And
Oh, a good book. Yes, I love a good book and a comfortable chair.
She's just not paying attention.
What's the check?
16.
16. Not really able to pick up much more than you've already know.
Yeah, it's a census record. She's just going methodically through it, and you know, she goes down a page and realizes she hasn't absorbed anything from it.
Yeah, and as you kind of like just pay attention to the fact that you've arrived at Ella's grandfather's library, you are also aware that Brüz is beside you, having talked at you for the entire walk, without you paying attention.
And that's why I always say it's wise to put on a good, comfortable hood when you're going on a long walk.
Yeah, what a story, Brüz.
Let's go and see if we can find somewhere to sit down.
And you guys enter into the library. Yes, Grandpa Thunderdun, Ella, I believe, is the grandpa who owns the library. And he's the only one, I believe so. Am I right about that? Okay.
Is he only what? Sorry.
Your grandfather on your father's side, no, your father's side owns the enchantment shop. So this is your mother's father. He owns, yeah, and he made an independent library, a relatively small building clustered amongst a bunch of more homestead sort of buildings. And yeah, you kind of open up and step inside. He looks up again.
Book catacomb.
Oh, well,
Ella runs in.
Welcome back. Oh, good to see you all. I hope you've had a productive few days with that map that you made. You made a few copies, I noticed. How can we help? Well, I help. I'm the only one here right now.
Afternoon. I've got a very specific request, specifically on types of magics.
Magics?
Indeed. Specifically illusion magics, and if you have it, more information on this than I have on the spell. Modify memory.
Why on earth would you be interested in such a magic?
There's got reasons.
All right. He's going to go away and do a bit of like looking around. He'll do it with advantage because okay, yeah. He comes back with a number of let's say 3 volumes. One is just a more general sort of history of magic in general, which gives a vague outline of like what the schools of magic are and where they tend to be practiced. The School of Illusion. Okay. So the second book is more specifically about illusion, about how it's a school of magic which makes use of the kind of interplanar wibbly wobbly stuff that kind of generally speaking, like the Feywild is often a realm in which illusion is often used by either predators to hunt prey or by the sentient races there to disguise themselves and protect themselves and that kind of thing. There's no like source here that's a specific like spell book or spell scroll for that spell. That isn't the kind of text
I
that.
want to learn like the more specifics of the spell. You know, what it does, what its limits are, and specifically any illusion magics, what they can be broken by, and how they can be seen through, etc.
I'm going to ask you to make then an investigation check on this kind of small pile of books that Ella's grandpa has brought out.
That is a 16.
16. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've used magics before that force the enemy or the target to sort of relive something that isn't real. So I'm talking about what did you use when you force an enemy to kind of turn in a random direction and run off and take damage? You understand that modify memory is a much more sort of intense sort of focused version of that kind of spell. That's less about just causing anarchy in a target's mind, but more about specifically kind of diving in and changing some facet of their memory. With that check, I'll say that it's something that your level. What bard level are you right now? You're level 6, right?
Level 6 bard. Yeah. I know. As a player, I know I can't do it now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing research.
You learn that it's the kind of magic that you wouldn't be able to access yet, but that you could potentially move into because of your understanding of the fundamentals of those building blocks that you currently have access to. With that roll, I'll say at the kind of base level, you wouldn't be able to do anything to long-term memories. It would only be memories within a day of the event happening, which obviously limits it a little bit, and that the event itself lasted no more than a few minutes. So if you are going to learn any spell to change anybody's memory, those are two quite significant restrictions. It can't have happened for further back than a day, so that the spell must be cast within a day of the event that you're wanting to change happening, and the length of time that the actual memory took place across can be no more than 10 minutes. Yeah, that's what you pick up in terms of specifics with that roll.
It's a Men in Black thing.
Yeah, similar sort of deal. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to do while you guys are in the library?
I'm just looking.
All right. There are books on shelves.
So you just fly back into camera.
Does anybody else have something they want to do at the library?
Ella actually wants to go and see Grandpops.
Okay. Is that at the enchantment shop or?
Yes. Yeah, she needs to get a few bits. So.
Okay. Yeah. We can move on to that now. If anyone else wants to do anything. Oh, okay. Do you want to ask questions at the enchantment shop, Kyro, or?
Oh, yeah, when we get there. No.
Okay, so I'm going to assume everyone's going to go along with Ella at that point, unless anyone has any urgent requirement to do anything else. So you make your way back across town to the Arcanum Academy of Farinloth, which is where previously, Nuru, you met a lecturer there named Ibrahim Inkwell, and had a detailed discussion and lecture on the nature of the weave. And a number of individuals are moving out. Sorry, passive perceptions. I need to have them in front of me. Yell. What's your passive perception again?
Low. 12.
Low, okay. I'm feeling like Eirys has a fairly high passive perception.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. So, again, Eirys,
Mine's 16.
You'll pick this up. So as you guys are walking across, because attached to the far side of the building is the almost ramshackle sort of staple-on shed that opens up into a wider space within the kind of walls of the Arcanum Academy, which is the enchantment shop. And as you're walking across, a couple of students are murmuring as they go back to wherever their lodgings are for their studies, or maybe just out to town for a drink or whatever. And a couple of them are whispering about the fact that a couple of their number have been whisked away by a mysterious Drow and old gold scale dragonborn to, a house at the top of the hill. And it's weird that a couple of them have just been convinced to abandon their studies and pursue a sudden and unforeseen change of career into adventuring.
And Nuru just sort of whispers at Kyro, like, "Hey, I think your brother recruited some people. It sounds like." Overheard some students talking about how some students up and left with some Drow.
Huh. All right, that's good. Yeah. Did they say anything about where he is?
Yeah, apparently on a house at the top of a hill.
Oh.
Shrugs.
All right.
Maybe we could visit him later.
Yeah.
You guys continue on, and yep, Ella, you're leading the party. You happily throw the door open. It bangs against the wall as it almost flies off the hinges. And your father and your grandfather are not there. It is instead just bear with me.
How rude.
Rude.
How dare.
They missed my grand entrance.
Notes. Holy hell. Yeah, it is Thunderdon Library. Yes. It's a human male. Looks kind of maybe in his late 20s, early 30s. Kind of stubblish brown hair and sort of a sort of central parting and sort of a bush of hair that kind of flows out and halfway down his head. He's wearing kind of plain sort of brown sort of cloth front with buttons all the way up the top. Looks up and from the counter as he sees you walk in and says, "Oh, yes, hello. Can I help you? You're Ella, aren't you?"
That's me.
Yeah, your relatives obviously were very glad to see you. My name's Radcliffe.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
last member of staff, only member of staff around here who isn't Ickleberry. So, but no, they went home.
Oh,
I was
okay.
about to close up shop. Actually, is there anything I can do for you?
I'll be quick, and I whiz around the shop to get what I
Okay.
want.
Okay, what are you looking for?
So basically, Ella has the counteract spell scroll.
Yes.
So I want to buy the materials to write it in her spellbook.
Okay. Let me get out D&D Beyond. What level is counterspell?
Third level.
Third level. And Zoe, you are a...
Money was a 2.
Yeah. I'm
Damn it.
fairly sure, and it's regrettable, but like if you wanted to learn third level spells, you'd need to be wizard level 5, I think.
Fifth level. Every odd level you get a new spell slot or spell type.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can I just still get the materials anyway?
Yeah, sure thing. He can prep you
And
for
then I
that.
can just... Yeah, and then I can keep hold of them.
Okay, so counterspell is what school of magic? Because you might be able to get it for half price if it's the right school.
I don't know. Hang on.
Counterspell. It is abjuration.
Ooh, that's me. That's me.
Okay, so you can recognize the kind of glyphs of the school of magic on this scroll, although you don't understand the kind of nature of most of the runes. You do recognize it as belonging to the school of abjuration, which is your specialty. So you can effectively acquire half price materials, or half as many materials, I should say, and you'd be able to copy it across. Jody, yes. Sorry, to your message on Roll20. Yeah, so instead of it being 300 gold's worth of materials, you can get 150 gold's worth of materials, and it would be enough for you to copy across a 3rd level spell. Is that right? Let me get out the book.
Those are so expensive.
I might be getting that wrong. I might be overestimating the cost. Ah, crumbs. Hey, who knew? When I was running, I'm running a D&D game, and maybe I'll need the player handbook. Okay. Learning spells. Spell book. Oh no, for each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces. But I believe that for Abjuration, the golden time you must spend to copy an Abjuration spell is halved. So instead of it being 150, you can get 75 gold's worth of materials. And instead of it taking 6 hours to copy it across, it will take you 3.
Cool beans.
But right now, what matters is it's 75 gold instead of 150.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Thank you for
Now
bearing
it
with
only
me.
costs a month's worth of rent.
Depending on where you live. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to buy
so that was-
materials?
Sorry?
You're going to buy materials?
Yes.
So that's 75 gold for parchment and ink of a spell copying quality.
So parchment and ink. Marvellous. Write that in my inventory.
And just as an aside, Find Familiar is a 1st level spell. Just as
Okay.
a...
It's 25 gold to copy.
Well, it depends on... I mean, is Find Familiar Abjuration? I thought that would be a
Oh,
conjuration,
never
didn't
mind.
it?
You're right.
Yeah, that sounds like conjuration.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad.
Anyway, so yeah, you picked that up. I mean, guys, you're in the enchantment shop. It's open for a few more minutes.
Oh,
Um.
I'm gonna talk to the shop guy who's here.
Hi.
There is.
How can I help?
Hey, do you know anything about how the amulet making is going?
Do you know? That's a good point. I should have thought of that sooner. He kind of like moves underneath, and there's clearly a number of drawers underneath the desk. He opens one, opens the other, and he pulls out another necklace. They've been working pretty much non-stop on this enchantment, but they made one more, and he lays it on the table.
Wow. He takes it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Thanks.
Yes. Can I help you?
These amulets, obviously they stop us being magically tracked. What about magic infringing on our thoughts, entering our mind?
That should also block that too, right?
She gives a dirty look towards Yell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would defend against that too.
I mean, out of character, yeah.
He kind of looks at it. He kind of screws his eyes. It's clear to you that this is like someone that they have to just kind of man the shop without necessarily having the expertise of the rest of the family. He goes, I believe it's all divination magic that you're protected from. So it would be scrying, but it would also potentially...
Anything that's in the school of divination.
Yeah. Any divination is potentially you're protected against.
If I was your manager, you'd be fired. But okay.
Okay.
Don't
Yep.
worry, Eirys. I can hear your thoughts. You're protected.
So you guys take a look around. There's a number of sort of Yeah, as well as the amulet that's on the desk, there's a number of sort of bottles around in a bit of a haphazard fashion. There's a number of necklaces kind of hanging in sort of glass containers on the walls on the right-hand side. Yeah, there's a pair of shoes. There's a few sets of sort of jewelry, stones. There's a shield hanging on the wall. Yeah. Anybody have anything else they want to look more carefully into?
I don't have enough money.
Is there anything else interesting for sale? Is there like a list I can look at?
Maybe it'll be easier for me to just throw it into the Discord server.
Okay.
I believe the winged boots have been sold to Eirys.
Yeah, they have.
And I believe that...
I can't afford any of this.
We're too poor. We need money.
So Nuru's like, I need some money.
Mm-hmm. I'm realizing that there are spoilers all over these notes. Oh my god.
She looks at the prices of everything and it's just like,
Yeah. Brüz kind of leans over, goes,
500 gold pieces. Oh, we did destroy all of the cultists. Wasn't there an arrangement with the high priest?
oh yeah, weren't we gonna like?
One did technically teleport away.
Oh, I'm sure that that's not something that we needed. I mean, I picked up some of the material of their turbans, and perhaps as proof that we oh, never mind. It's fine.
he puts the scrap of material away.
Ooh, there we go.
And
Leans towards Eirys.
so
Arby,
Nuru's
yeah?
like,
Isn't that guy
well, I'm
scared
sure they'll
shitless?
pay us something.
Hold on. If Arby could have the floor, that would be great. Can you say that again, bud?
Sorry.
Yeah, Yao just leaned into Eirys and kind of whispers, "Isn't that guy scared shitless of us? So we could probably make decent coin from that."
Yes, that was the plan.
I mean,
You want to go now? I'm in the mood to.
we could
make
go
some
tonight.
shipments.
Go tonight, get some money, come back tomorrow. Buy everything.
We should go when it's dark. It'll just make him that much more scared. I'm down with it.
Ah, perfect. Get some dinner before we go.
Yeah.
Should we get like? I'm just gonna get some like blood or something red and just smear and just look really shitty.
What, you going to do that right here?
I could cast a spell and make him more charming for a little while. For about an hour.
I don't think
More
Nuru
charm.
gets intimidation.
Well, it makes it better at like talking good, so I think that can translate into intimidating.
I was just trying to set the scene. Dark, covered in blood. Give us our fucking money, you know.
I mean, if you want to look like you're covered in blood, I could do that. It's not hard.
I'm sure there are plenty
She
of
looks at
places
him
we could
like
get
he's.
blood.
Not with actual blood. I meant with.
Oh, you guys weren't thinking actual blood?
I mean, it could be actual blood. It's.
I was
not,
thinking
it'd
maybe
be
we
more
go to the butcher's
realistic
quick,
if it was.
Either or.
get some pig's blood.
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, true. Pig's blood is probably the most convincing towards like making it look like a human.
Oh, it's just gonna use my own. Yeah, that works.
I mean, urine works, but then you have to explain the cuts maybe, and just...
I want to heal tonight.
Ella's poop.
I can do healing word.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Why?
I don't know.
Eirys, you are just clocking that Radcliffe is behind the counter, just like listening to you guys talking about smearing blood over yourselves, just like...
And
Weird orgy thing.
Just looks at him.
Okay, I'm.
Well, I was gonna say
Nuru's
party.
like, it's for a prank. Don't worry about it.
Those sending stone things. You said there's 2 lots of them. Can all 4 send to each other, or are they done in pairs?
I mean, they are usually enchanted to operate just in pairs, but I'm sure maybe if he was to come back tomorrow, we could augment the enchantment to broadcast through all, or broadcast. He wouldn't know that word. Send the spell
Cast
to all of them.
broadly.
Would that cost anything?
Well, you've got the price in front of you. So a pair of sending stones would be 500 gold pieces. So 1,000 for 2 pairs. If you're willing to give us 1,000 gold pieces up front for the sending stones, I'm fairly sure that we'd be able to augment the enchantment as a gratuity.
How does it work? Does it like speak into your head?
As I understand it, there's an activation word, or if you're trained in arcane, you can simply enact the arcane manifestation, whatever form it takes, to cast a sending spell. Most people who don't usually cast magic just have an activation word.
What's the word?
Well, we ask you to give that to us when we sell them to you.
Eirys leans over to Yell. Is he mocking me? I feel like he's mocking me because I don't know shit about magic.
I don't. Can I get an insight on him?
Yeah, make an insight check. Eirys can make one as well if you like.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be far better. Oh, I got a +4 on that. Okay, so that's 15 on my insight.
14.
14.
Better than yours.
He's
Insight?
that. Oh yeah.
I rolled a 5.
Wow. Yeah. He,
5.
That's why she's suspicious.
you both immediately get the sense that he's fairly intimidated by Eirys because of just the dark manner, the fact that you're talking about covering yourselves in blood to extort money from someone, and you haven't been particularly careful about like hiding that. So yeah, he's on edge, and he's trying to be as clear as he can, and he might be making too much of an effort to explain this in a degree of detail that's sufficient. And you know, probably he's probably more intimidated of you than he is intending to upset or offend you.
I don't think he's mocking you. I think he's scared shitless of you, and is not necessarily using the right words.
Good. I have everything I need to know.
Cool. Well, I mean, if you were interested, maybe coming back tomorrow, maybe at midday, probably wouldn't take too long to augment 4 stones to send to each other.
I'll think about it.
Great. Fantastic. Is there anything else I can do to help anybody? Or
If she can save us the trip. You got any pig's blood?
pig's blood?
Yeah, I'll put that dagger and just,
Do you have like a fabric store around in this town somewhere?
I mean, they
I'm
might
going that
they
way.
might do dyeing at the wash house. There's obviously there's a bath house, and then next door there's a wash house for clothes and linen, and I think they do dyeing
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna like buy some raw materials and see if I can make some like clothes and accessories and sell them. You know.
Okay. Okay, the shadows are lengthening at this point, but you're able to make your way over to the center of town. The bathhouse is it stands out because of the array of flowers and the sweet fragrances that kind of seep from the windows around out into, and it's well placed because it's relatively central in town, so the smell kind of spreads in a 10-foot radius or whatever. Yeah, you're able to find it. It depends. They're interested in sort of a unusual request of that nature, and they're happy to sell. What would you be looking for? Is it stuff for crochet? Is it
Crochet and like
Yarn.
she crochets and knits, so
Okay.
So yarn, but she can also sew as well. So if they just had plain old fabrics and sewing, she has sewing supplies. So like she could just turn fabrics into like here it's a shirt.
Mm. Okay.
Go sell T-shirts on the side of the road or something. I don't know.
I'd say, man,
Farinloth t-shirts.
I heart Farinloth. I went to Farinloth and all I got was this Loudy t-shirt.
Yes.
You could knit those.
Oh,
She
man.
could absolutely knit that.
Knit a sweater.
How on earth? Do you know this isn't on the DM screen? Let's say if you wanted to find material to make maybe a knitting project, like a ball of knitting yarn, a ball of yarn for crocheting, and enough materials to make maybe 3 shirts, it would run you like 2 gold pieces.
Okay. So I'm basically going. I already have 3 balls of yarn, but I may as well get more if they have them.
They'd probably just give you the fabric for one gold piece then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are there extra balls of yarn I can get, or?
Yeah, sure. We'll say a ball of yarn is like. I think I might be overpricing it.
We'll say it's really good yarn.
Yeah, let's say that it's a gold piece and 2 silver for yarn and fabric surplus to requirement and really quite good quality. Cool. Sorry, Kira, you've had your hand up. Is everything all right?
Oh, I just had a question. Do they have ribbons?
Ribbons? Yeah, they have that in the back because they do a lot of sort of repair work. So as well as cleaning clothes, they often get things that are kind of torn up from overuse, from accidents, and they have enough stuff to repair, and that includes some ribbon.
I'll buy some.
Okay. What color?
A turquoise one.
Okay. A roll of 10 feet of turquoise ribbon will be 1 silver.
Okay.
What you getting that for?
To have.
She looks at it and she's like, "It's a nice color."
Thanks. It is. Puts it in his bag.
All right. So, you're relatively central in town again. You've kind of gone out in several directions and returned to the center of town a few times now. The shadows are lengthening. The sun is setting.
Thank God.
It's getting it's getting to the point where Kyro, as you're walking between the buildings and you kind of step into the shadow, it's always been a wash of relief that kind of waves over your body as you step out of the sunlight. Yeah. You guys want to go on to the temple? You do so.
I'm good to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it's that time.
Yep. The sun is pretty much setting at this point. Yeah. So you guys
Is knitting the all I got in Farinloth was this lousy sweater.
Like Weasley style.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And Brüz is continuing to prattle on about whatever he's talking about at the back of the line. You guys make your way over to the temple. The doors are actually in the process of being closed as you approach by a couple of the acolytes. And I don't know. You guys may well recognize them. You certainly recognize the faces of one of them. A sort of elven female. Looks relatively young, blonde hair. She kind of sees you coming and she stops closing the door. The other person continues and she kind of like goes, hey, stop. The door sort of stops. She kind of steps outside. Hi, welcome back. Can I help you?
Hi there. Yeah, we're looking for... What's his name? Cheryl Navaste?
The High Priest. Well, yeah, we were...
Him.
We were just about to close the temple to the public. Make a persuasion check.
We
Oh,
We're
sorry.
not the
What?
public.
I was about to say, we took up a job with him, and we were
Oh,
just
yeah,
coming to let him know its progress.
You can roll with advantage upon saying that.
Thank you, advantage, because that stopped that natural one. Persuasion, that makes that 26.
26.
26.
Of course. Right. Okay. Let's let them in. Come on. She kind of like pulls on her door. They're big, and it takes a little while for them to build up momentum and swing back open into the central space that you guys recognize. Nuru and Brüz smile at each other as they remember their stoat weasel shenanigans of a few days hence. No one's in here. Everybody appears to have been kind of bustled out. The two acolytes that are with you are the only other people in this immense space. It's about 40, 50 feet until the front of this temple with the altar, statue on the left-hand side, and a great stained glass window that's barely lit by anything because the sun is actually on the other side. The sun is shining from behind you as you walk in, so there isn't much light in here at all. Within a couple of minutes, the two acolytes return with Cheryl. Ah, excellent. Good to see you all.
Shall we discuss this in your chamber?
Yes. Yes, follow me. He takes you into the corridor on the right-hand side. He turns left through into the library. And
can Nuru like covertly cast Eagle's Splendor on Yell?
Make a sleight of hand check, and yes, you can.
Okay, hold on.
Is the temple's library open?
It wasn't very subtle. That's a 5.
A 5?
And so yeah, it's not very subtle. But she does cast it, so she's just like with her knitting needles.
What does Eagle's Splendor do? Can you remind me?
Oh, it's an enhance ability.
Gives you
Target
advantage.
has advantage on charisma checks.
Okay. Sure. You cast the spell, and yeah, a magical effect. Yell, you feel wave over you. Cheryl turns around. As soon as you finish casting the spell, Nuru, you kind of move to keep on walking, and you see that Cheryl has stopped at the front of the party, turned, and his face is just completely straight and ashen, just like, what have you done?
And she's like, "Oh, I was just practicing my magics. See, I'm just making him more charming. See, I can do it to you if you want."
No, that won't be necessary.
Okay, cool.
Let's just get this over with. He turns and he bustles through the door. And yeah, this door on the left-hand side of this corridor, it opens up into the library. He's taking you through it. And at the center of this space, on a pedestal that's between 5 and 10 feet up, accessed by a short stair, is the circular teleportation circle that you arrived in Farinloth on.
Can I tell that Ella is like super psyched?
Yeah, this is not something that anyone needs a passive perception of much more than 2 to see.
I swear. I know this is possible, but as I'm walking through, could I almost like use my stealth or sleight of hand to kind of like put my hand on Ella's back and just like really subtly shove her down one of the aisles so she like subtly breaks off from the party with no one seeing?
I'll let you make a sleight of hand check for that.
Playing hide and nose in the ground line.
Sleight of hand, 29.
29.
I got stealth. Gnome.
So the way that this library works is you've got the central circle of the teleportation circle in the middle of the library. And each of the kind of wings of the library, each of the lines of books branch off as if they were spokes of a wheel. And it's easy enough. He takes you straight up to the center of this space and around the edge of the teleportation circle. As soon as you get there, and down one of the spokes of this wheel-like view from bird's eye view, Ella disappears. And
Eirys just gets a little Ella's voice in the head just saying, "Thank you."
it's magic shit. Anyway, cool. So you guys are led across into a small office on the other side of the library. Cheryl, let me roll a dice for it, because in the end there's one less of you. Natural 4, so he's none the wiser.
Very smart.
He kind of steps inside the office and kind of attempts to offer you chairs, but there are now 6 of you in there with him, and he just kind of awkwardly sort of stays stood up behind his desk. Well, I assume that your travel has been successful?
Yep.
I'd say it was very successful. Opening up to kind of like the rest of the pie. Yeah, I think we did more than what was required in our initial contract.
We killed them all.
You killed them all?
And a giant frog, and any other plagues along the way that they had planning to attack the city with.
You mean that they had more arcane manifestations, dark plans?
Yes, and they had a giant fucking frog.
Oh my goodness.
With weird tentacly tongue shit.
A monstrosity.
Okay.
Quite.
I mean, Yale's taking the lead on this. He has the spell cast on him. You can make a general... I'll say general charisma, because there's elements of falsehood in what you're saying. So it's just going to be general charisma.
Oh, so it's not deception either.
I'll give it deception. Yeah. Why not?
I'll give it deception.
Misleading.
Yeah.
That's a 27 with a natural 20.
27 with a natural 20.
You beautiful man.
Well, this is
Really though.
I need to check my notes. Well,
He falls in love with you instantly.
That's not how that works.
I know. It's a joke.
I know that the circumstances have not necessarily been kind to the temple with regards to the terms and the modes and the nature of the rapport that we have established. But I hope that you believe me and that you understand when I say you've, at the very least, you've done a great service, and I would be more than happy to accommodate any member of your organization, and I hope that this will reflect honorably, at least, with the temple. I apologize. He turns around and
You're going to cast Detect Thoughts.
okay, wisdom save.
No, the very initial is no save. It's if I probe deeper.
Okay.
He has to make a wisdom save.
He's terrified. He knows that the previous kind of encounter that you had with him, he was angry, and then he believes that you guys are from the syndicate, and he's scared shitless. He wants to establish positive, at least something positive, and he's coaxing himself to get the money. The money. He turns around to a bookshelf on the right-hand side, and he reaches for a thick mahogany-clad tome, and he pulls on it, and it's not a book, but a lever.
Those levers.
It turns, and it opens up only a few feet, not all the way around. It's not like opening into a secret tunnel. It's not opening to a secret tunnel. It's opening just into a hidden small compartment that goes in an extra foot or two behind the bookshelf, where there is a safe that he unlocks. It's not a small safe. It is a safe that is the length of the bookshelf, hence the bookshelf hiding it. And there are rows and rows of shelves, and within the shelves are bags. And out of the safe come most of the bags. And he pays you. He pays you 3,500 gold pieces. And, that was such a high roll, dude. Sorry, I'm just looking up my notes. He kind of looks at you, Yell, and he says, "Listen, I'd just like to communicate again that my willingness to cooperate. Mara had a small, strong box in her office, in her study. It was emptied upon the start of the investigation, and the proceeds were obviously taken for the service of the temple. I'd like to offer the contents to you as a gesture of goodwill."
That would be much appreciated. Maybe an extra 100 gold pieces, and you'll be in very good books with us, and we'll make sure that carries out to the rest of the syndicate.
Of course. So on top of the 3,500 that he gives you from the central sort of space, on the bottom shelf, there's an additional 500 gold pieces, 50 platinum, and a sapphire necklace. A golden, very thin filigree design with a number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sapphires, and the central one is huge.
This belonged to Mara.
I believe that it was some kind of precious item, perhaps from the family.
Fabulous. I'll take hold of this for safekeeping.
Of course. If anyone wants to just roll a general history check or investigation to try and figure out how much that might be worth, because those are big rocks.
What is it, sorry?
Did you say history?
Or investigation.
Oh, they're both the same for me. So that is a 21 for me.
21?
16.
16. Eirys, it's potentially more valuable than the 500 gold that was included in that little section. Yell, you have a feeling that it's probably worth potentially as much as all of the gold that you've just been given. Just because they're just massive sapphires, and the degree of fine work along the sort of chain that kind of links that make this up, as well as the chains. There's a thin lined wiring of gold that almost flow into the kind of stones of the sapphire necklace, and this is fine old work. Yell, you would know from your previous kind of traveling around that a noble with far more money than sense would perhaps have this, or it would be just something of remarkable value. With that check as well, I'd say that this is probably not magical, but these are stones of the kind of quality that might be enchanted. I mean, you don't know much about magic yet, but
so they're spell quality. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay.
So in total, 3,500 and then an additional 500 makes 4,000 in total, and then you don't know how much this necklace is worth. It's a nice necklace. He says to you,
there was some platinum in there.
There were also, yes, thank you, 50 additional platinum pieces in addition. That's from Mara's strong box. Yeah. Cheryl, upon kind of moving the bags over to you and seeing them disappear into the bag of holding, you will not be able to carry this much money without using the bag of holding. He kind of keeps his hands kind of clasped, and he has a sort of faux smile on his face with panic behind his eyes. Well, I would obviously if that is sufficient, then I'm happy to conclude our business. I don't know.
Yell side-eye to Eirys if there's any more she wants to do.
Yeah, I'm done seeing this man's face. Let's go.
Oh, much obliged.
Been a pleasure doing business. I'm sure we will make a return.
We'll see ourselves out.
Of course. He kind of glances behind you, and the door opens and the pair of acolytes are there. he says, "Just fuck off, let them leave." And just kind of like steps out himself and bustles away, taking the 2 acolytes with him.
Okay.
Do I, as he's walking away, do I probe deeper?
Cheryl, as he's walking away,
Oh, yes?
I walk up to him and very quietly say the acolytes can't hear. If need be, I will like get real close to him.
Yeah.
We do plan to leave town eventually, and your standing is adequate with the syndicate at current times. But don't think we won't be leaving anyone behind to keep a very close eye on you. We'll be watching. Have a good night. I walk away.
Yeah. No roll necessary. He's spooked. Yeah, you guys leave, kind of leaving them at the entry, awkwardly waiting for you to kind of vacate so that they can move away as well. Now, in the meantime, of course, while this has all been happening, the first is that Arthrin needs to kind of elbow Brüz to wake him up because he's fallen asleep at the doorway while this has all happened. But also, Ella, thank you for your patience. You are
Right.
just very subtly but decisively redirected into the library. Cheryl is so spooked by everything that's going on and so keen to pay the people to make them go away that you have the library. What would you like to do?
She's just going to stand there and go, at last. And then she's just going to run around, touching all the books.
Okay.
And then she's going to actually try and find maybe, I don't know, I don't know, like, because she kind of already knows things now, so I don't feel she needs to research anything about her.
How about you, because you're just kind of frolicking and you're just letting your hands run between the bookcases, between these tomes, why don't you roll a D100 for luck and tell me what you get?
Oh,
Whoa.
book luck.
D100. Ooh, okay.
So then a D10 and then the ones with the 30s and 40s and 50s and stuff.
What is that? rolled a 5 and a 10? What's that one? Is that
Oh, a 5 and a 10, so that would be 15.
15?
Yeah, because the 10 represents the 10s unit of the figure, and then the 5 would represent the unit. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You, as you reach the end of one of the kind of sort of almost like, what are they called? Spokes of this almost wheel of this library. You kind of turn around as if to run down the other side, and you pull out a handful of papers, and you look at them, and it's a record of the economic history of Ceylon water, trade routes, and key exports/imports throughout the Fourth Age.
Woo.
Nah. I'm good. She puts it back.
Yeah.
She would maybe try and actually see if there's any sort of like books or records of the teachers or the clerics there. I think she might try and look up her mum.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, that was rubbish. 7.
7. You kind of realize that because you're in the trade history of the cities of the Ufai continent, that you're pretty far away from anything directly linked to, say, deities. You try and move closer towards the deity section, Helm is obviously well chronicled here. Then you realize that that's a kind of a dead end because it's not about the temple specifically, it's just about the general deity of Helm. By the time you find the section, or in fact, what I'll say is you're looking for details, records of the people who currently live and work at this temple. And it does occur to you that those records may not necessarily be at a library that's meant to be a compendium of all knowledge. It might be information that's stored elsewhere in the temple.
Okay.
And by the time that you're coming to that conclusion, you see the door to this office open and some figures come out and yeah, everyone else is there.
We should go to the HR department.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the
Are
cellar.
we being escorted out, or are we leaving on our own?
I believe from what Eirys said, Cheryl is letting you guys go. So they're kind of like hovering around the door, kind of giving you guys space as you make your way out of this office, if you would like.
Oh, okay. If we're by ourselves when we get to the library.
This office is immediately, it's the next room on from the main library hall. So they'd be able to see you as you made your way across the library floor to an extent. You might be able to stealth your way behind some bookshelves, maybe.
I think as soon as Ella sees the door opening and starts to see people come out, she's gonna just try and duck and hide because she doesn't want to get caught by the wrong people for being in there. She's not really allowed in there.
You haven't told me that you've taken off your armor at any point.
No.
So that'll be with
That'll be with
disadvantage. Yeah.
Clang, clang, clang.
They don't hear wind chime.
Well, maybe not too clangy. It depends on how she rolls.
Indeed.
She might roll well twice.
Somebody's smithing in here.
I missed Delvin.
Okay, that's
So it'll be like, hold on, it'll be like
14.
It is a
14.
little armor.
You know what? I'm gonna put a penalty on Cheryl's passive perception because of the circumstances and say that they're not going to detect you. Anyone else in the party who has a passive perception of 14 or more will hear that there's shifting and maybe some clanging of armor and footsteps. As I don't know if any of you are necessarily aware that Ella was not with you for that entire thing, but you are now as you hear
Nuru's
her.
not saying anything. She's not a
Yeah.
narc.
Yeah.
I would
Looks in
like
the
to
opposite
stealth
direction.
away from the party towards where I can hear Ella.
Okay. It's Ella, you're kind of shifting your way back on along one of these spoke bookshelf sort of edges, and you get to the kind of end, the far end where the library is darkest, and Eirys is there.
Ah,
Hi,
do that.
I have something for you.
Oh. What have
I
you got?
hold out the necklace. When we find Mara, I'd like you to give this back to her. Until then, I think it's best kept with you.
DM, do I recognise the necklace at all?
Roll history with advantage.
I'm good at history. Yeah. History. 21.
Mara showed this to you. You very vividly remember the day that she was in her study doing work, and you convinced her to take her break. That was a win. She didn't usually fold to your repeated requests to take it easy and relax. So this stuck out in your memory for that reason alone, but also that she said, "Well, I might as well show you something. You got a few minutes?" You always had a few minutes for Mara. She opened up the strong box on the side of the room behind the painting and pulled out this unbelievable necklace that's been passed down in Mara's family for generations, back from what she claimed to be the founding fathers of the temple, back when they were more nomadic and adventurous, and they slayed monsters and protected kingdoms and brought Helm's protection to the land in a way that was more tangible, more explicit, more real than perhaps the temple in recent generations. She told you that as she was holding this necklace, and she let you kind of lay your fingers over the stones. Any meaning that each of those stones might have represented has been lost to time. She doesn't know it, but she does feel that when she's really making progress, particularly as to understanding the beasts that lie across the kind of strip of land, the Winter Wastes, which were her particular area of interest, given its proximity to Farinloth, she felt that she was trying to return in some way to that sort of proactive, albeit studious, sort of mode of protection. That perhaps in sort of understanding the dangers that lay across the Winter Wastes, she was equipping other people to take that proactive approach. That's what she felt when she carried and held this necklace.
I'm going to kneel down so I'm relatively level with Ella.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny gnome Ella. And I'm going to grab her hand and I'm going to place it into her palm and close her palm over it. We're going to find Mara or what happened to her. If we can, we'll bring her back. But until then, she's with you in some way in this necklace.
Ella's just very quiet and just looking at her hands, and you just hear a quiet, soft "thank you."
I'm proud
Thank
of you for sneaking off. It was very roguish of you.
Oh, well, it helped. I had a little push. Yeah, thanks for getting me in here. I've been wanting to get in here for ages. I was banned. So, yeah.
Maybe we'll come back again, but for now we best go.
Okay.
Brüz obviously is taking the rear, and he kind of stops beside Cheryl, turns to him and goes,
It's just so much easier for everyone if you're more polite.
claps his hand on his shoulder, and is the last to leave. You move to the central chamber of the temple. The doors are still partially open for you at the far end. The altar is on your right-hand side. You can see the kind of looming over on the left-hand side of the altar, this big old statue depicting Helm, the armoured warrior god. It's a great shield on his left-hand side, reaching all the way down his arm and down to the bottom of his legs. On the left is most of the space in this chamber and the doors. This is a temple that you guys have explored in quite some detail.
Mm-hmm.
You want to explore some more, or are you guys going to leave?
I think we've gotten most we can. I don't know.
Okay.
They just looked at the statue on their way out.
Big, imposing, sort of powerful. You definitely get the sense that this is was meant to be a symbol of protection, divine protection. Maybe designed to give, people without much power the sort of reassurance that at least something's on their side, even if it is intangible.
Ella,
Yeah?
how would you like a shoulder carry from Helm?
A shoulder carry from Helm.
I pick her up and I throw her up onto the statue.
Oh my god!
What?
I'm assuming I just see Ella fly through the air and land on the statue.
I mean,
Depends how well I throw her.
we need to do some dice rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Ella, are you going to let this happen?
I think so, because she probably was just shocked by it.
it's all just probably happened really quick. Like she's just been grabbed and thrown. So like,
How tall is
what?
Eirys,
I mean, I'm not like throwing like yeet, but like sort of half climbing up myself while carrying her and like.
It's not really throwing so much as gently placing.
Not like shot put yeet the gnome.
Oh, I thought you were shot put eating the gnome, in which case you're always going to cast levitate.
oh heck! I mean, Yell. I guess what you'll see, Yell, is Eirys grabs Ella's hand and kind of runs forward with her by a few feet, and then just kind of like hoofs Ella up. The statue's tall. The statue's like approaching 20 feet tall. I probably should have been a bit more clear about that in my description to you.
That might not.
In which case, as soon as like Eirys goes to do that, Yell's going to levitate on Ella so that she can just float up to the top.
Okay, so I'd like Eirys to make an athletics check just for the effectiveness of that initial hurl.
Oh, -1. 11.
11. You kind of get halfway around and then she slips and you feel like, oh god, she's just going to hit the ground straight ahead of me. But Ella just kind of goes, just drifting as if in zero gravity, just gently kind of wafting in a roughly sort of statue top direction. Ella, it's like you can almost swim through the air letting this happen.
Yeah, it was just sitting on with awe.
Just generally sort of guiding yourself. And yeah.
Trying to the statue with her.
So
like, not holding on to her, but she's also going to try and head up to the top.
Oh, okay. You can make an acrobatics check or whatever. In fact, no, that's not necessary. Your modifier is so crazily high, and there's enough time. There's no necessary dice roll. So you just kind of see that this is happening, glance back at Yell, and yeah, you move and kind of gently climb your way up to the top. Ella, you kind of come to rest gently, kind of like astronaut style, grabbing onto the sort of side of the head of the statue, and then to the right hand shoulder, moving yourself up to sit. And you kind of sit, but then your body kind of slightly fades up, and you grab the head and pull yourself down again, and you start sliding, kind of like wafting up. And at the same time, Eirys comes to sit on the left shoulder. And yeah, it's a good view. This is a statue that's.
Kyro looks undelighted. So glad he chose to look at the statue.
Yeah. Yeah. Make Ella, make a religion check.
I'm pleased by this behavior. You've been smited.
Smited.
No.
11.
11. Okay.
Tom loves Ella. He would never.
No, I'm kidding.
He probably does.
No.
He probably does.
It's a joke. It doesn't mean anything. This is super fun. You are not used to this sort of formal setting of this temple. Seeing it from this angle is new and exciting. And you wouldn't have seen it this way were it not for these people.
This is so cool. She's just looking around.
How's the weather up there?
I hope it isn't too cold.
It's quite warm.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Now you can tell your stuck-up mother that you've been raised by the gods. Helm himself allowed you to ascend.
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
Arthrin's kind of like, raised by the gods. Raised by... I get it. It's a pun.
Yes. Yes, it is, Arthrin.
Wait, how's it a pun? Kyro looks confused.
Raised?
See, because raised can mean to lift something up, but also to raise something from a child to an adult.
Oh, what? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool. Are you guys going to stay up there all night, or...?
Give me 5.
Chamber we're currently in.
So the doorway that you just came out from, it's been a few minutes by now, opens, and the two acolytes, the kind of blonde-haired female, walk through, and the male that she was with kind of comes through. You guys know enough about this temple to know the opposite corridor to the one that you just entered in is where all of their bedrooms and lodgings are. So they're obviously on their way to rest up. And they walk in.
I look like I will kill them if they say anything.
The moment I hear anything,
Yeah.
What are they coming in from the right or the left of the statue?
They're coming in. They're the same ones that took you to the library. So they're coming back the way that you've just come in.
So as in, like, if I'm on the left and Ella's on the right shoulder, who will they see? 'Cause
Oh, they'll
presumably
see
the head
both of you nice and clearly. They're walking in, and the statue is facing them as they do so. So they're going to see both of you on the shoulders.
Yeah, Kira just turns suddenly and looks at them.
I mean, they glance up and they see two figures on the top of the statue, and then they kind of like get their bearings and see that Kiro's glaring at them, and they're like, "Whoa!" And the girl says, "I think I speak for both of us when I say, please don't steal anything. We'll leave you to it."
He nods at them.
Cool. Thanks for killing the cultists. They were really dangerous.
No problem.
Cool.
We're
They-
celebrating.
The guy kind of looks around. Rightly so. And they go about their way.
They asked us not to steal
This is
anything.
chill.
Yell wanted to steal a book.
I mean,
I mean, just because someone asks you not to do something doesn't mean you have to.
that's true. I mean, will they necessarily notice a missing prayer book or book of hymns? Oh, sorry. There you go.
It was just going to be a book at random off a bookshelf.
I mean, from what you can see, there aren't immediately books outside of behind each of the pews are occasionally a uniformly sort of published sets, just sporadically spread around, of either books of prayers or books of hymns.
Oh, no, he's not going to steal one of those.
Okay. Are you sure?
It's
Some
gonna
of
be
those
something more interesting.
Some of those hymns are absolute bangers. Oh, helm, my helm. Helm be before me, be after me, and my personal favourite.
Highway to Helm.
If I had a help,
Yale needs to learn that. He needs
Highway
to
to
learn
Helm.
that.
Highway to Helm.
He's a bard. He's got to have this book.
Oh my god.
For when they're really pumped up. It's a highway to Helm.
You are
So, definitely right.
you are swept of a sudden unexplainable sort of sensation that, like, yeah, Helm's kind of into like the formality, but like he probably is not going to mind if I take one of these books.
He'd want me to have this book.
Helm would be fine with this.
This is fine.
He's good, right? And I'm good, so this is fine.
It's just borrowing. I'll give it back.
Yeah.
It might help me
Eventually.
protect people. He likes that.
He does like protecting people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sweet, I gain one hymn book.
One
Woo!
hymn book, and oh my god.
D&D
This
is
has been a great time.
Yeah, man. You guys leave the temple and make your way back towards the center of town, assuming that that's what you would like to do. Any other orders of business?
Just before Ella goes,
Mhm.
obviously climbs down from the statue. When
How do they do at dismounting?
Oh, don't make me get them to roll dice. That's going to end terribly.
Eirys is-
I'm going to
Eirys
say
will just backflip off it, and Ella will just slide down like Winnie the Pooh.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
yeah. Perfect.
yeah, so she's just gonna wait for Eirys to go down and just everyone start. She's just gonna hang back and then just stay on the shoulder for just 2 minutes and just kind of turn to the statue's face
Mhm.
and just have a quiet chat with the statue / helm.
What would you like to
She
say?
just kind of she just gets Just gonna be like, so, okay, I know I haven't checked in for a while, and I'm sorry about that. Just got a bit busy, and, just wanted to say thank you for your help and your protection. And we're going to be doing some dangerous stuff, so if you don't mind protecting me and my friends some more, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, we're good, right? We're good. Cool. Well, it was nice being this tall. You're really tall. How do I get down? Okay.
A sensation,
I'll see you later.
a sensation in your head that's similar to receiving a sent message reverberates around your mind.
The statue goes.
That's rad, bro.
A voice that you don't recognize, but still somehow sounds familiar to you. Echoes. You are on the right path. Keep going.
Thank you. That's good to hear. Thanks. Well, see ya.
Slides down the statue.
If it looks like she's about to like fall weird, I'll try to catch her.
I mean, there's lots of sort of awkward sort of shuffling halfway down. She gets to the bottom, it's fine. Cool.
Yay.
So as you guys return to town, obviously the hostile county is where you've been staying in town. You know that Eirys's contact from the guard, Kylan, and his immediate, I'm going to say family, but not kind of family? Don't know. Lover and lover's child.
Relations.
They are at, yeah, cool. Relations. They are at the top of the hill. The guardhouse is at the center of town. In fact, you're passing the guardhouse on your way to the market square in the middle of town, and it's dark now. The sun is completely set, but there's the job board's still there. There's a number of pieces of paper on that. You can continue going to the tavern. You can go to the house. Where are we going?
I think Kyro might swing by the job board real quick.
Yeah, it's right there on the right-hand side. Yeah. So, job board. I mean, you've taken a look at this once already. I believe... Yeah, so a note has been removed. There's a gap. And, Ellie, you remember that's the Barrington Bakery seeking test subjects for their magical bread? That you guys have already obviously squared away. Materials required for Angela at the apothecary. Inquire within the apothecary for specifics. Base rate at 200 gold per person, with bonuses for rarity of components. The ongoing tyranny of bandit clan Iron Turnt and their leader Trag continues. A significant reward is offered to any adventuring party who defeats him. Proof is required. Inquire within the guardhouse for generous rewards starting at 2,000 gold pieces. Another note, which is regrettable, given his absence. TheSwiss the ferret has gone missing. Local old lady awaits his return by means of valiant/strapping adventurers. Reward negotiable. Reward negotiable depending on the hero's preferred variety of tea. Large shipment of books arriving within the next few days for delivery to the Helm Temple Library. Inquire at the library for details and payment options starting at 200 gold per person. You get the sense that a lot of that money is currently in your possession. What else? There's a lot of notes here. Looking to employ a bartender for the Hostel County Inn. Must be able to listen to political rants on the slower days. No goblins. A pair of prize earrings were stolen on transit from Uthella, likely by blasted Trag Iron Turnt. I am willing to reward anyone 1,000 gold pieces for their return. Inquire within the guardhouse. Ask for Captain Laterson. A cleric is required. My name is Ben Ainsley. My daughter is suffering poor health and it has been rapidly declining in recent weeks. Anyone with knowledge of medicine to determine what kind of illness is affecting my dear, dear Ruth, please inquire at Ainsley House, and there's details of an address. A music tutor is required. My daughter Stevie wants to be a bard, but has absolutely no talent. I want to enjoy my time at home without the shrieking of her lute destroying the peace. I will pay you 10 gold to give her some lessons, and if, after a couple of lessons, her music becomes less painful, I'll give you 100 gold bonus. Contact John Nix at 75 Leighton Avenue.
Oh, John. Way to put them on blast for everyone.
There's a lot of different notes of paper. I mean, they're all there. You could take all the pieces of paper if you want.
Sure, smirks at the music one. Like,
Ella will take the one that asked for a cleric.
Sure. Okay.
I
Guys,
want.
best idea. This is not the only town. This town has 2 ads for Trag Ironturn. So
Yeah.
does Uthella.
Mm-hmm.
We check in all of them. We take out
Yeah.
Trag, get all of them.
I like that plan.
Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to Control C and Control C this into the Discord chat because there's a lot of stuff, and obviously it's totally up to you as to what you do. With regards to tonight, it is late. You have, I mean, within the last day, it's when you've had your encounter with the Treants. So by now, tiredness is really setting in. You've been on the road for a lot of the day. That was a quite gnarly combat, and yeah, your exhaustion is not quite beginning to set in, but you are all starting to feel quite tired. What's next?
Take all the jobs and go to the pub for a bit. Or the inn.
Nuru's like, I'm tired. I just got done with the sweater. It's just as ugly as you probably imagine. It's all the colors.
Why did you make that?
Well, I'm gonna sell it tomorrow.
Good luck.
Cool.
It's just the right amount of tacky that a tourist would buy it.
Ooh, yes, well,
Technically tourists.
Nuru may be right. In fact, I might be interested in acquiring that sweater. It may be a bit small to fit over my horns, though.
Well, I mean, hold on. She just like undoes a few of the stitches and puts some buttons. There, now you can open up the thing wider.
Ooh, well, that's...
I mean, I hope that Swiss doesn't mind me doing this.
I'd be very interested. Maybe once I've had a sit down on my chair at the tavern. Take the weight off the legs.
The carry notice just stripped off the board.
Yep. So all of the stuff that's on the Discord is fair game.
We have gathered it all.
All right. So yeah, we'd said it was 7 silver for a night for a room. Each room has 2 beds in, so it's 7 silver per pair. 7 of you guys, so oh my goodness, what's happening to my brain? 4 7 to 28. 2 and 8, so 2 gold and 8 silver for board at the tavern for the evening. That doesn't include food.
Is that each? Or?
No, in total.
No, total.
That's the total
That's
charge
all.
for boarding.
It's
If we throw
7 silver for a room,
Mm.
and there's 2 people to a room.
I can contribute to gold.
Yeah, effectively, what I'll say is, just to shorten this, assuming that you're going to be having a few drinks and everyone's going to be eating, if we say 4 gold is going to cover your boarding and your evening meal and whatever drinks you want. If anyone goes on a massive bender, I might throw in a few extra silver depending on how many drinks you're having. Up to you.
Okay.
4 gold across the whole party.
A gold.
Yeah.
I can do a gold.
Arthrin's going to throw in a gold.
Contribute a gold.
Yep.
I can throw. Oh, Ella will throw in a gold.
That's it. Covered. Very nice.
Rogues. The only ones who stayed quiet were the rogues.
It's like, God damn it, Yell, don't do it, Yell, don't do it, Yell, but it's what Yell would do.
You guys have to like divvy up the money,
Sure,
right?
I'm throwing in the 7 silver.
Yeah,
but
I'll
you
let
guys
me
already
work that
covered it, so.
Jeez, that was a lot of money.
at some point, Yell would like to talk to Eirys and Ella separately, like
Okay.
individually.
Why don't
But
we...
That's like.
Kira's explicitly hanging out with Eirys.
Okay, so let's try and like order this in a way that's fair to everybody. Okay, I think that's reasonable. So let's do, and again we'll do wibbly wobbly timey wimey. This can happen in different kind of phases of the evening. You are eating, you are drinking, you are resting by the fire, you are catching up with each other, and then you're going to head to bed. At which point I might suggest, because ultimately, guys, Swiss isn't here. I'm tempted to suggest that we make this a short one, just for the fact that he isn't present, and also because it's just a neat place to end the session. Unless you have any, overwhelming desire to start on one of these quest lines, it's your call. What do you guys think?
Right now, no. I mean, if it's late, no.
So he keeps putting her hand up.
Yeah, sorry, Zoe.
I was thinking, like, would Ella know where this because Ella's taken the cleric needed job. Are they far away, or is it literally just she could pop on over there, do a bit of cleric doodle, and then pop on back kind of thing? Or
you will know that Ainsley House isn't a name that you immediately recognise. You piece together because of the nature of the piece of paper. It's a rough piece of parchment with scrawling ink. Somebody who may not be actually necessarily used to writing, or indeed be expected to write much at all. Perhaps it's a surprise that this person does possess the skill too. So it's going to be the kind of rougher end of town. The house at the top of the hill that Kylan is currently staying at, that is the swanky end. That's more within the kind of jurisdiction and kind of immediate vicinity of the guardhouse, ergo more protection, ergo tending to be nicer houses because they don't get robbed as much. Whereas this is potentially from the other side of town, which is a little bit more run down, perhaps. That's what you're able to pick up.
okay.
You might be able to
So
find it.
I would
I mean, yeah, you might be able to find it if you went out and explored or.
Okay. And that could take a little while, couldn't it, really? As I don't really know where I'm going.
Do we have an aversion if Ella chooses to jump out and try and find that house, that we make that the last thing for today? Yeah? And then we fit in all of the conversations beforehand. Because Yell wants to talk to Ella, yeah? Unless,
she could just do a quick look round kind of thing and just maybe try and get her bearings and then try tomorrow.
Don't forget that there's also individuals in the tavern, local patrons, some farm hands.
Okay.
You can ask.
Yes, maybe I'll do that. I'll do that instead. As she doesn't really know where it is, she will maybe try and talk to the people in the tavern to see if anyone knows who it is and can give directions to her.
Yeah. We can quickly get that done now. There's a pair of figures at the bar. One seems to be a young human male, one with slightly more pointed ears, maybe half-elven. As you kind of reach forward and take a platter of food for yourself, you hear one of them actually say, "It's a terrible, terrible thing, the poor girl." "Yeah, that's right, Ben Inslee. He's at wit's end. No one's been responding to his messages on the board, and nobody from the temple seems to be willing to help. I wonder why. That's literally what the temple's there for, isn't it? You know the temple, they just keep themselves to themselves. It's all about talking to Helm, asking for Helm's guidance. Not actually willing to help anybody, are they?" Yeah. Raises a mug.
Excuse me.
Oh. Hello, can we help you?
Ella. Sorry, couldn't help over here. You were talking about Guy and his daughter, and I saw board, and yeah, just wondering where they live so I could go and help. I'm a cleric, part wizard, but mainly cleric. I heal.
Glance.
I mean, loads of time.
The half-elf sort of glances over you. You really a cleric? Why would a cleric be in the tavern? Why wouldn't you be at the temple?
Long story. Don't know you yet, so I'm not going to tell you my story.
And we don't
That's
know.
fair.
We don't know you.
Just say conflict of interest.
I mean that's fair enough. You know, you got to be careful in these times. You don't know who. No one's necessarily who they say they are. Could say the same of you. What are you? Do you truly?
Oh, for goodness sake. Look, I am a cleric, all right? I am Ella Ickleberry.
Make a persuasion check.
You're muted. if
You are
you're
muted,
talking
Jody,
towards
yeah.
Jody.
Yeah. Can you say that again, Jody?
Well,
Sorry.
something about cutting a hand and blood on the face is
Oh,
what I
is it?
gathered from the actions.
I said, if Eirys is overhearing this, can she walk up to Ella, where she cut her palm earlier to smear the blood in her face? Could you just hold her palm out to Ella?
Oh hell. Your roll is 10. They kind of they've got their arms folded and they're looking. It's like, could she be the Ickleberry? I mean, it's a big family, and suddenly you see at the corner of your eye, Eirys is holding out her hand that's cut next to you. That's you, Ella.
Hit. Look,
Yeah.
look.
Hmm?
Look. So, at first level, she will just do a cure wounds.
Okay. And, you know, there's no need to roll for healing because I don't think it actually did any hit point damage. So you just lay your hand on top of Eirys's and a glow emits from between your fingers. And when the hand moves away, no trace of a cut on the hands.
Thank you, O Holy Cleric. I have been restored, and I just walk off.
Nice.
I'm a cleric.
Everybody gains 50 bonus experience points because that was fucking sick.
Yay.
They're kind of gobsmacked. Well, I suppose, yeah, you're the real deal. It's Ainsley House. It's Ben Ainsley. He was in a fairly large farming family, and they fell on hard times. His father lost a lot of money, and their daughter is very unwell. Ainsley House is on the other side of town. If you go by the Barrington Bakery and continue along the bakery road for about half a mile, and they'll give you the directions required for finding the house.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Least we could do. You know, actually, and they start they start asking you for other healing favors. The half elf's mother has been feeling a little peaky recently, and the human's friend is just still hungover from the night before, but he's trying to spin it to you as if oh no, he's really quite unwell.
I think, did she see through that?
He doesn't try and hide this particularly well. You see straight through that.
She just tells him, well, tell your brother to lay off the drink. That will help.
I mean, I said that there was some drink. I didn't mean to say that he was. You know what? That's fair enough. Yeah.
And then with the mother, would she is it nothing too serious? Just some herbal remedy and stuff like that, kind of sort it out.
You're able to recommend just rest and chicken soup because it's just like a common cold, and it's maybe a laceration will do it, but also maybe just a day of rest, so it's not a big deal. Yeah. Cool. So you have that information. Now, Arby, you said that you wanted to talk to Eirys and to Ella. Does anyone else have anything else they want to do? Talk to wise?
I mean,
yeah,
I'm just hanging out, so I'll talk to whoever. But
okay.
I don't have anything pressing.
After
Right.
the hand thing, Eirys stepped outside for some fresh air.
Okay, sure. Nuru, anything from you?
Maybe he's talking to Arthrin.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can do that in a bit.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. She probably had her 5th glass of milk, but that probably made her sleepy.
Okay, so you're just kind of hanging out at the table while you guys are eating and drinking.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're all sitting at a table with Arthrin at the moment, whilst Eirys and Ella did their thing, and then Eirys went out, and Yella's going to go talk to her, I assume.
Neat. So yeah, should we do Ella first because she's still inside?
I was gonna do Ella, because I assume Yella and Ella are going to be sharing a room again.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
That was going to be a before we go to bed, because holy shit, we need to gossip.
Okay. Yeah. Sure thing. Sure thing.
As is Yella and Ella's case, we always gossip. We couldn't exactly do it on the way back with the treants, but
yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so Eirys first, and you see her go over to Ella. He heals her a cut on her hand, and she steps out for some fresh air.
Evening.
Oh, hi.
You're right there. So you got that cut from earlier, sorted by Ella.
Yes. I was so relieved to have it healed.
I see. Playing theatrics. That's a new one for you.
I'm trying to branch out.
Well, it's impressive, especially after the helm statue climbing and everything this afternoon. To be honest,
maybe I was born for theatrics.
Maybe we should start a band.
Maybe we shouldn't.
I want to start a band.
Nuru doesn't
Then I
hear.
can tell my little brother that he's not the only one who has a band.
I believe these guys are outside. Nuru, you wouldn't have been able to hear this.
Oh.
Don't panic.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So, earlier in the library, I was doing some more research on that plan I mentioned. It definitely would have to be, at the moment anyway, if we were to go sooner rather than later, using a fake body of yours or someone else's that we make look like you, but to convince them with the memory. But I'm still not 100% on the strength of illusion magics if we were to change a different body to look like you.
How long do you need to know? Is there
Well,
anything
we... what do you mean, sorry? Just out of character.
That would, if there's anything you need that would help you learn about it that she could steal or interrogate or anything for you.
Honestly, if and when we get the downtime, finding books on illusion magics like disguise self, and there's some more powerful magics, major image maybe. If you can find any of that as well while we're got some downtime and you're interested in helping that, we could work out the limits. But it would have to be, for modifying the memory for conviction, it would have to be same day, no more than a 10-minute interaction with a very specific person.
So our plan wouldn't work then? If
Not for...
from history.
Well, that would... We could increase the time period, the more powerful the magic, but it would be a longer time before we could execute it.
Well, it's survived for however many years it's been. 5 or something.
Alright. Oh. There are options for decoy and distraction until we get to that point then.
Just have to keep them off our tail.
Yeah. It's, I'm sure, the easy part.
And do our reading. My
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to sit down and read to learn how everything needs to go for a perfect plan. Well, saying that, we didn't have to read much for Doucheface and stealing all his money.
Oh, I forgot to tell him you weren't one of the syndicate.
I thought that's what you stepped back for as we were leaving.
Oh no, I was just fucking with him some more.
Oh, excellent.
It might actually be fun to keep it going.
It really would be. Maybe we should keep it until we, have found Mara, and just before we leave town, just be like, oh, by the way, asshat.
I don't know. I have this weird feeling like leaving this town better than we found it. It's like a strange sensation. But like I've made sure he won't do any shady shit again. And somehow that makes me feel something. I haven't quite put my finger on it yet.
You're feeling a good feeling? Is that what you're saying?
It'd be ridiculous. Things aren't good. They're just chemical reactions or something.
You're not wrong. But the feelings can make you feel good. They don't always have to be bad.
I don't like this. It feels too much like it's in control. Yeah, maybe I'll just tell him after we bring back Mara.
We can work on the making sure you keep control, but liking the feeling of feelings.
No, I don't like feelings.
All right. But yeah, we can definitely get a plan going. You can disappear and be rid of them.
It's a dream. I'll try and steal or like legitimately, I don't know, whatever, however you get books without stealing them.
Yell's gonna pull out one of the hymn book that he stole from his bag. So we shouldn't be stealing books, even though this is probably useless.
Oh, cool, we can still. Good, yes, I'll just steal.
I mean, I'm totally fine with it. It's maybe Ella and Nuru and that may not be so cool with the stealing of random shit. So, as long as they don't see.
They won't.
Don't doubt it.
Okay.
Anyway, thought I'd give you an update. I'll leave you to your piece.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll head back inside.
Great. Good work. You step back inside, and by the fireplace is a regal carved mahogany sort of chair. Brüz is fast asleep beside it. Arthrin is at the table with Kyro and Nuru. Yeah, another good day. You know, I like. Yeah, not quite. It was close.
Wait, what?
It was weird being inside that frog monster. You know, it was like painful. It was like being surrounded by acid. Probably because I was.
You were surrounded by acid. That's what's in there.
Yeah, it was painful. Like I was sure I was just about losing consciousness, and then I think you guys killed it, because it like vomited me up.
It was pretty touch and go there. I was kind of being restrained by a tentacle, so couldn't do much.
That's okay.
That don't feel great either.
Yeah, but no, you're incredible. You know that? Like the animal forms that you like inhabit are so like powerful. Seriously,
I know they are.
we wouldn't have got very far against like that frog monster, but also like the giant tree people. They were genuinely. They could have stepped on us and squashed us, but like.
I like some.
Oh yeah, definitely. They could have killed us.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I agree, Kira. I mean, ultimately, it was just a bit of a misunderstanding, innit?
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't kill him.
Me too.
Sometimes people just attack you on sight.
I mean, Yeah.
It's like wild animals, you know. They don't know enough, and they're not going to risk their lives to stop and ask you questions.
Were
Because
they animals?
sometimes out in the wild, if you stop and ask questions, sometimes things will just kill you. So things don't ask questions out there.
Yeah.
They could talk though, right? They weren't animals, were they?
No,
Animals
but they live in the wild. They understand nature.
Okay.
I think they must have been angry at like people destroying nature, I guess.
Yeah, that was weird.
Sounds like it. Sounds like they thought that we were the perps.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know.
Just kind of jump to conclusions a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Like, I probably stepped on like bugs while we were going through the woods. So did they have like a? Or maybe no, it's fine. But like, if we brush through like undergrowth and like step on grass and we kill the grass, are the tree people going to be angry?
I don't think grass dies when you step on it usually.
No, no. Usually grass is okay as long as you don't like root it up. And I mean, like deer eat grass, and the trees don't mind that. But that's because the deer need to eat. So I think it's just the senselessness of it that they don't like. Like if you just kill something for no reason, not to eat it, not to live or anything, just out of ignorance or out of wanting to destroy it, that tends to make them unhappy.
It reminds me of something my dad used to say. When we die,
What?
he used to say, when we die, our bodies become the grass. And the antelope eat the grass. And so we
She doesn't laugh.
Yeah. That's a Deanna laugh. And so we are all connected in the great circle of life.
Wow. That
was,
sounds so smart.
It was a Lion King reference.
Okay. Cool.
She knows. She loves the Lion King.
You guys enjoy your meal. It's hearty. It's comfortable. The ales and meads that you imbibe give you a pleasant sort of tipsy tinge.
How drunk does Arthrin get?
He describes his state as a pleasant tipsy tinge. And he goes no further because he knows how dangerous that can be. Anyway, if anyone else has anything to do, now is the time to say. Otherwise, we'll go to bed. Anything else? Okay.
I mean, Eirys comes in at some point, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to have it out with
Talk-
Eirys?
Talk to Eirys, you dummy. Don't be shy.
What do you... No, shut up.
Is that what this is?
What do you mean? What is what? No. Wait, are we doing this in character? Because if so, then...
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Nuru doesn't care. Nuru's sleepy.
Yeah. Should probably go to bed then.
Arthrin kind of gets up and claps Brüz on the shoulder in a way that may have woken him up, but like Brüz is just asleep. And then he retires to his bedroom. Brüz stays in his chair. He sleeps in front of the fire. You guys know that. I'm assuming everyone's going to head up to bed, and then we'll finish with Yell and Ella in the bedroom with the candlestick.
This is not a murder.
Cheryl got murdered this evening. Jesus.
I guess Arthur and
That
you
was in
were-
the office with the library book. So yeah, in the bedroom, it's just, oh my god, Ella, we need to discuss more of the gossip that we couldn't really talk about because everybody else was listening about earlier with Arthrin.
Yes, we do.
So El is like gonna sit at the end of his bed, grab a pillow, like hug it cross-legged.
Awesome.
Lean forward.
D&D BFFs. That's amazing. Cool.
So, probing Arthrin's mind, he is absolutely in love with Eirys. like watching the Treants cuddle, like completely reminded him of his feelings for Eirys.
Oh, well, that's awkward. Because Kira really likes Eirys, doesn't he?
He does.
He does. It's a love triangle.
And
Although I'm
Eirys
not
really
sure
doesn't
how
want any of that right now.
Yeah, it's an awkward love triangle.
Wait, what kind of shape is this? I think yeah, but it doesn't go back. It's kind of.
It's a love
It's a
egg.
It's a love bee,
lovely.
or a love A without the going across. That depends actually.
Angle.
Kyro and Arthrin could also love each other. I don't know.
It's like a inequality sign.
Okay, so what should we do? What should we do? Do we do anything? Do we not do anything?
What?
Or do I think?
I mean, speaking with Eirys, like she really does not want any of that at the moment, like whatsoever.
Should we maybe warn?
I don't know. That's why I was bringing it up as part of the gossip.
Oh, okay. So basically, we got to come up with a battle plan.
Yeah.
Not quite a battle, but it's a battle of feelings. It's a battle of feelings. There you go. Battle of feelings.
Battle
So,
of
okay.
feelings.
Battle of feelings. The battle of feelings. I feel like we should have a board, and then we can pin bits of paper to it, and then we can do strings.
My God, get
Anyway.
out of my head.
You're not the only one that can read minds.
Look, I know we played that joke on Arthrin, but now I literally can.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what to do about this situation. This is
Okay.
oh, it doesn't. Hang on.
And then wait.
No, oh, Nuru likes Arthrin, doesn't she?
She does. Oh.
Oh,
Arthrin,
this isn't a triangle. This is like a. This is a ball of mess.
It's a giant.
It's a giant ball of mess.
Full of spaghetti.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Well, I say we just leave them to it.
Okay, for now, anyway. At least until tomorrow when we can get some string, some paper.
Yes, and a board.
And try and work this out.
Well, we could see. You could probe Arthrin's mind and see how he feels about Nuru.
Let me just out of character check something real quick.
Oh no. If you need to see the target for detect thoughts. Oh heck.
You can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you, but the spell can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal other than lead, or a thin sheet of lead blocks you. Hey, DM, what is the tavern made out of? And whereabouts is Arthrin sleeping in my current position with me?
So what the question really...
wood doesn't block it.
No, it doesn't. And the tavern would predominantly be made of wood, walls, and kind of stone supports at the corners and at regular spaces throughout the... So yeah, I'd say it's conceivable that you could cast Detect Thoughts on Arthrin. You know the direction that his bedroom's in.
Yell is going to use his last second level spell slot of the day to cast Detect Thoughts to try and get Arthrin's current surface level thought.
He is very hazy. He's slipping into sleep. So his, he's not quite at REM yet, but his thoughts are sort of just resting, just
Yeah?
they're just sort of like
Oh.
floating by. He thinks of he actually thinks of the face of his mum, and that it's a face that you don't recognize, but because you're detecting his thoughts, you know it's his mother, and then it fades away, and then the face of his father comes into his mind and fades away, and
Yell is relaying all of this to Ella as it's coming to him.
and just like a strange ethereal haze, it's just like, the thoughtlessness of slipping into sleep takes hold. He's not quite asleep there, but he's getting there.
I'm going to probe further, in which case he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Thank you. Natural 7. What's the DC?
The DC is 15.
It's not going to make that. Okay, yeah. So you, what would you like to know?
You initially learn a surface thought about its mind. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, then make a wisdom save. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. So it's Arthrin's current emotional state and something looming large in his mind.
I'd say at that particular moment, his state is tipsy, so slightly sort of disassociating from his immediate surroundings, because that's what being tipsy drunk does. And
He's super disassociated right now.
and he's feeling, he feels a little sad because part of his nightly ritual is to recall the faces of his parents, and that is what is on his mind. But then as he gets closer to sleep, it's just it fades into just unconsciousness.
Oh damn! That didn't help anything, but it was super depressing.
Oh. What was
Yell
it?
had relayed everything
Oh.
to Ella as it was happening.
Oh. I think we should give our friend some hugs more. Sounds like he needs some more hugs.
Probably does.
Mm.
It
Maybe
did
we
not
should
help-
live.
Did not help us work out the current party love ball mess situation.
Yell! I
Oh.
have a spell I could use. Zone of Truth! I can't use it tonight because I'm tapped. But
Wait, what class is of magic is Zone of Truth? Because we definitely can't get any truth out of Eirys if she's wearing the necklace and it's divination.
oh, heck, I would not do it on Eirys.
Well, it depends on what type of school of magic it's from.
Hang on, bear with me. Manage spells. Name spells. Boop, 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 boop.
I've thought of something I could do, perhaps.
Okay.
Since we're just...
Yeah, we'll let these guys finish and then we'll jump back.
I'm not in a hurry.
Okay.
I'm just mentioning it.
Enchantment.
Oh, so that will work then. So we can definitely Zone of Truth them. But I think they know they've been Zone of Truth, don't they? So it can't be sneaky.
No. Not this time.
I think we should get some string, some paper, some ink.
Okay.
Draw up
Ooh,
a
I
big
have
plan. And maybe tomorrow or something, me and you should slip away from the party, go grab some dinner, and start planning out this giant ball of mess.
Yes. Yes, we can start to detangle the mess.
Yes. Get some time away without worry of somebody bursting in and finding out our lovely plans.
It is lovely.
yeah.
We are fond hearts are coming together. We're making that happen.
But it's a big ball of mess at the moment, so that means someone's going to get hurt.
Not if we untangle it correctly.
Fair
Here
point.
we go. Here we go.
All right. Tomorrow we get the supplies, we go for dinner, and we stay away from the party for a bit to detangle.
Okay. Do you need me to prepare, Zone of Truth?
It might come in handy, but tomorrow
Okay.
we mainly plan.
I'll get it prepared.
This is good. We
This is good.
can detangle this mess. Watch them all, I don't know, get
Unravel.
lovey-dovey with each other in town.
Excellent.
Watch them all unravel. You guys finished?
I am, unless Ella has anything else that she wants to add.
No. She's just pondering on how to sort out this mess.
That's awesome. Well done.
I
Okay.
just want to
Really
say
is a
that's
picture of
great.
each of them, though.
Mm.
I love that.
You can just draw them.
Okay. So Kyro, you had something that you wanted to do?
Sure. 'Cause I'm guessing he ends up in the room and Arthrin's passed out.
Arthrin went up pretty early. He might not necessarily be completely asleep. He'd likely be just in bed as you come in.
Oh. So he's still conscious.
Yeah, if you wanted to talk to him, then you certainly could.
No.
Or if you wanted to wait for him to go to sleep, yeah, he's on the way.
Okay.
Okay, he does so.
Okay. Well, whenever Eirys shows up, basically.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, she's already here.
Yeah, she went up when they went to bed.
Oh,
She's just like doing her dozy thing on the floor in the corner.
Oh, is she asleep too?
Yeah, well, like lightly. Like she'll wake up when you come in because she's like super paranoid and.
As you open the door, just a bunch of daggers. No.
Yeah, basically.
Not an assassin. Well,
At the moment.
I'm not here to assassinate you.
That's a relief.
Yeah. I don't feel that's not. Yeah, I would probably no. I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Passing back my daggers.
What?
The daggers I just threw at you. Give them back.
He like goes to the wall and grabs them out, hands them.
Chase them again.
He's gonna sit down against the wall. And that's probably.
She'll get back to dozing.
Okay. Sorry, you guys, I guess, finished. I want to give you enough space if you need it.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
She was asleep, so.
All right. So, with that, you guys gain the benefits of a long rest. Spell slots are restored. Clerics / druids can freaking prepare whatever they like. And with that, don't forget to mark your bonus 50 XP for the day, because I thought that was fun. And we are going to finish it there. Good work.
Okay.
Does anybody have any bacon?
Good. Well done, everybody. Well played. That was fun.
Yeah!
Yeah.
We did it!
So much
We
money.
extorted a guy!
So much
Yeah.
money.
We have many.
That necklace, man.
Got money.
You know, I was just thinking that necklace, it used to belong to Mara, right?
Yes.
Have we ever tried scrying on Mara? Because in the off chance that she's alive somewhere, because her body's not around,
Yeah.
If you tried scrying on her, we might get an answer.
He's a 5th level cleric, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the only thing that's stopping us at the moment is the 5th
Ah,
spell slot.
true. Well, never mind. It's probably not worth the money then.
Hang on. What level cleric are you now, Zoe?
Uh,
There you go. Is now the time.
Scry's a 5th level.
Anyway, that's a thing for you to think about, I guess.
Oh, I thought Scry was 3rd level. Sorry.
No, Scry's 5th level. You need level 9.
Oh, never mind.
Or an item.
Never mind then.
Or a high level.
Or a scrying eye.
Or a high level family member who may be elderly and advanced in studying of cleric tradition.
That too.
Only we had a family member like that.
Hashtag
Well,
Grammy.
a family.
Grammy for mayor. Awesome. Well played. That was fun. And I big props for everybody for respecting sort of space and RP as well. That was really cool. Love it. I'll end the stream there. God bless you for watching if you are still watching. Sorry that I haven't been on it with Skyrim. I will try and get on Thursday of this week. Until then, see you in 2 weeks' time for more D&D.
Yeah.
Farewell.